May is Mental Health Awareness Month, which is a time to raise awareness of mental health issues, fight stigma surrounding these issues, and advocate for policies that support people with mental illness and their families. Mental health issues can affect people at any stage of their life and at any time. And because of this, mental health in the workplace is an important topic for both employers and employees to consider. To discuss this topic, I am joined by Lisa Wise, CEO of Communicare Incorporated, along with Tracy Wathen, Assistant Director of Clinic Services at Communicare. All right, ladies, first of all, thanks for taking the time today to chat with me about this.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, so Lisa, we're going to start with you, okay? As somebody with intimate knowledge of mental health and mental health treatment through your work with Communicare, how would you say that poor mental health affects productivity in the workplace, and what are some common signs of poor mental health among employees?
That's a really great question, Greg. And the reality is that having poor mental health amongst your employees can negatively affect the whole environment. It could lead to lower performance rate, lower productivity, higher absenteeism. But not only that, in a field where we are here to take care of people, if our staff are experiencing some sort of a mental health issue, we need to be there to support our employees, be there to support our staff. Common indicators of mental health concerns could be a change of their regular behavior. If you have an employee who is at work on time all the time, and now all of a sudden you're seeing them come in 30 minutes, an hour late, or leaving halfway through the day, it could be an indication they've got something going on. Increased irritability, restlessness, higher stress levels, maybe inability to meet deadlines, missing lots of work. And that doesn't only affect them, but it could affect their teams, their colleagues, their managers. And again, it has a ripple effect that there's a lot of people that could be involved in that person's mental health issues if it's not supported and if the communication isn't there to help them. There was a recent study done by One Medical Workplace Intelligence that reported over 64% of employees were reported struggling with mental or behavioral health issues. And when you think about that on any business size, if over half of your employees are struggling with a mental health issue, you've got a real workforce problem.
Yeah, that you do. Tracy, what can employers do to support the mental health of their other employees? Because I know I guess it's somewhat new because years ago, this wasn't really even talked about. So how can employers help their employees take care of this?
Sure. Well, employers can take several steps to support the mental health of their employees. One primary way is the employee assistance programs. We also know of those as EAP programs. Employers can promote and also subsidize to help their employees access mental health services at sometimes little or no cost. I believe that employers have a responsibility to ensure that their employees are aware of their benefits, so what their insurance covers, how to access those mental health services. It's very important for HR and managers to communicate with staff what the EAP services and those clear instructions on how to access them. I think it's also important that your company looks at, would it be something that may be involving a third party for EAP? Because that's going to mitigate those concerns about confidentiality and job security. Sometimes people don't want to access those services because they're afraid of what result might be. And that leads us into managers being trained to identify and how to respond to changes or concerns that they see in their employees. So there needs to be this idea that we're approaching situations with empathy and support rather than punishment, because that's not helping. So employers can also create a culture of prioritizing mental health, just to fight the stigma. So different things to promote and educate the workforce on what it looks like to have good mental health practices. Just treating that hand in hand with physical health. There's lots of emphasis and wellness initiatives For our physical health, often we get all these initiatives for wellness and gym memberships, but we also need to look to how to focus on stress and mental health management and creating that workplace of culture and trust, that we support each other. So I think it's one additional thing that an employer can go above and beyond is evaluating the effectiveness of their initiatives related to mental health. So, checking on employees just face to face, one to ones, but also surveys, and having those wellness programs and those open, candid conversations about mental health. And again, you're promoting that physical and mental health improvements hand in hand. Also, we can provide national resources to folks. So we have access to Mental Health America and what we know as SAMHSA, that's the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. And employers can create that culture of well-being. And again, just having mental health initiatives that improve and monitor those improvements over time.
Okay, well, that's a great answer. So I'm going to throw this last question at you, Lisa, because businesses, everybody's busy, everybody's stressed, everybody's got so many things on their plate. And as a business owner, you've got a lot of balls that you're juggling in the air. So why is it so important for employers to prioritize their employees' mental health?
Absolutely. Employee mental health is important for lots of reasons, but ultimately it's the right thing to do. As a business, you have to take care of your employees, and everyone deserves to go to work in an environment that promotes well-being. Again, that physical health, but also mental health. And from a business perspective, when we prioritize our employees and their mental health, it can have positive outcomes. It can lead to improved productivity, reduced call-ins or absenteeism. It could lower turnover rates. And it helps create a culture amongst employees that shows the business wants to promote mental health. We are here to support our staff. And by doing that, it can ultimately help retain the top talent pool and overall long-term improve your employee satisfaction.
That makes a lot of sense in the world. Ladies, Lisa, Tracy, thank you so much for taking time and educating us a little bit about mental health in the workplace. And I learned a lot today, and hopefully people that are watching this video are in the thought now of how they can help as an employee or as an employer.
Thank you, Greg.
You. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Anytime. All right. So to learn more about the Kentucky Career Center Lincoln Trail, you can always go to their website, which is ltcareercenter.org. And you can also call them. The number is 270-766-5115. I am Greg Milby, community storyteller, and this is the Work Matters segment for May 2023.